Welcome back, everybody, to Game 5 of the LHGPL semifinals between Baby Pengies and Omega Gaming Syndicate. I am Gordo, joined once again by Samalkram, and Samalkram, we are about to have one last game to decide who's going to the grand finals.
Yes, we are, and we see tons of adaptations from the Pengies. Galio, Malphite, and Diana taken away, and that all-important Volibear pick taken away by Syndicate. So, Pengies thinking that they want to first pick Mordekaiser. Okay, it's a better look than first picking Trundle, so I'll take it.
All right, and I've got a narrative update for you, Samalkram.
Okay, hit me with it.
So we can see, I just checked over in the LHGPL bracket, the Akuma Shurikens were able to win their side of the semifinals bracket 3-0,
Okay.
and they are the first seed from the Void group, which Omega Gaming Syndicate is the second seed from. So if Omega Gaming Syndicate do win this Game 5 and go on to the finals, it is going to be an all-Void group final, as the first seed from that group takes on the second seed from that group.
That is spicy. So let's see if Syndicate can close out this fifth game and advance to the finals to face their bitter
certainly
rival.
going to be interesting regardless, as I know those two teams played each other in a very close series towards the end of the regular season, so it would certainly be fun to see either a rematch or a match between them and the team that was able to take down Syndicate. If Baby Pengies are able to pull it out, though, they found themselves losing the last two games. They did not have the momentum advantage coming into this final game, and they've been forced to give up the Lilia, a pick that they had banned in every game previously.
Yeah, and again we see Syndicate go to the Jhin. Will Pengies respond with the Twitch Lulu once again? There is no longer the threat of the AP Malphite to one-shot the Twitch, but they go for the safe pick in the Ezreal, which will cede a lot of priority to the Syndicate bot lane.
Yeah, it feels a little bit iffy on this Ezreal pick. Gotta wonder what happened to the Ashe here. It's something that's been picked by Baby Pengies before, I believe, and was banned out by Omega Gaming earlier in this series, but clearly just not something they value very highly, as they've gone for other 80 carries every time it's been available.
Yeah, and excuse
Oh
me?
my
Excuse
God.
me?
It's Rammus time, baby. We've locked in the Armadillo. I'm not seeing any messages in the chat that this was meant to be a different champion. Rammus is going somewhere.
Indeed, you have to think it's going jungle, right? I don't think.
That's what you gotta imagine, but I don't know. I don't really know anymore.
So the question that I have in my head, Gordo, is
No!
no. What?
No! What is this?
So okay, so I'm pretty sure Blood King plays a lot of Tryndamere in solo queue. Not really a pick that that most teams are willing to pick in competitive, but
Well, so here's the thing. It's very good into the Mordekaiser.
yes, absolutely. In isolation,
Because it wins the 1v1 even in the Death Realm, but it's very bad into the Rammus.
yeah. So I absolutely agree, Gordo. And
You think you're good with your bad.
yeah, so what this means is, so Syndicate are very, very light on the whole engage thing. Thankfully, the Rammus is really, really kind. He likes to roll at you, really, really telegraphed engage. But I do need some form of durability. Undying Rage does not count as durability. It counts as it's a delaying tactic. You delay dying. It doesn't stop anything else. If so, maybe we'll see. Ooh, Alistar? No. They could play Keep Away. They could pick Karma here. I don't know.
It certainly could. A few different options available to them. Could also drift towards the mid lane a little bit here. Maybe pick something they feel be beneficial.
The flex pick,
or maybe even
Zillion.
a flex pick like the Zillion.
I think there's a narrow window when you see Rammus just zooming at you with righteous. Okay. So the Samira coming in, not a lot of CC to set up. Well, there. Answer my question. There's the Alistar. That's the CC you're looking for.
All right, so this is gonna be the solo lane Samira.
Yes, it is. So you have to think that's mid lane. You have to think it's mid lane. But Pengies have shown a propensity for putting interesting champs in interesting places. It could be Mordekaiser mid and Samira top. I doubt it, but that could happen. That very well could happen. As we get the Lux.
All right, so it's likely gonna be the Lux of it. It's gonna be believe the solo lane Samira going somewhere.
I
But
I feel like it's Lux support.
could be Lux support in the Zillion mid. It's still certainly going to be something on the table.
Yeah, I just feel like the Zillion can't stop Alistar, but Lux can. Lux can just bind the Alistar when he goes for the headbutt, and you're fine.
Yeah, also quite a few different tools they have to prevent this Rammus from being able to really approach them with the power ball you'd expect to see. They have the Jin Deadly Flourish, and they have the Lux Binding to throw.
Yeah, so Syndicate really, really not wanting to get engaged upon. They want to control an area using the Zillion and the Lux and the Jin. The Jin has traps to slow as well, and they really, really, really cannot afford to get engaged upon because the Samira can prolong any CC that the Alistar or Rammus provide, and then any full blown team fight favors Pengies, and so Syndicate really gonna have to play the fringes of these fights well. Because if it goes
Yeah,
down to
certainly. Also excited to see the jungle matchup going on. Lilia, one of these harder farming picks that Baby Pengies have for the first 4 games of this series put so much effort into keeping Syndicate off of. They did not want to give Fallen Artemis any of these farming jungle meta champions. In every game so far this series, Baby Pengies have gone for the first 3 bans, Graves, Kindred, Lilia. And this game, they finally let him through, and it's going to be the Lilia pick up for the side of Syndicate. So can they prove that this was, in fact, supposed to be banned after all, and that Fallen Artemis can completely run over the game with one of these farming picks? Or maybe this is the opportunity that Baby Pengies need to be able to turn around this series.
we'll have to see. One concern Chad has reminded me, because I've harped on this a lot, is I'm of the opinion that Lilia needs some form of a frontline to function properly. It's very, very hard for her to play forward if she doesn't have something to stand between her and the enemy champs. Because more often than not, if she gets engaged on by Alistar, she probably has to flash out. If she gets taunted by Rammus, she's probably dead. It's really, really difficult for Lilia to just stand between the enemy team and Jin.
Oh, it's the Ezreal mid. Oh, it's the Ezreal mid.
Wait, they have played Ezreal mid before. This makes sense.
Oh,
They
it's
have.
the Malcolm. It's the Ezreal mid. We're even spicier than we originally thought.
You know,
It looks like Charman is going to be taking the solo lane Ezreal, and it's going to be the Samira bot lane with the Alistar after all. You know, Baby Pengies have pulled the wool over our eyes with some of these flex picks already this series, and it looks like they've done it again.
Wait. Let me go through the records of the Pengies. I think they've ran something similar before.
All right, well, will you check into that? Continue to check out what some of these picks of bans are going to be. So if we are going to be seeing the mid lane Ezreal, that likely means, you know, it's going to be Samira, Alistar bottom. It's going to be this Jin and Zillion duo for the other side. We've confirmed that it is not Lux support, and it is in fact Lux mid, facing down against this Ezreal.
So this is really baffling to me because Ezreal doesn't have a lot of prio mid lane, so Zillion is like pretty content to farm in that lane and just scale up. And if you put Jin, Zillion bot lane into Samira, Alistar, that's so much kill pressure. It's so terrifying for Zillion Jin to walk up because Alistar just needs to look at you, and you're getting chain CC'd for probably 2.5 seconds. Just the Alistar combo into the Samira passive, ignite, and then the dash, you're probably dead. So
Yeah, possible that Intexi doesn't play the Zillion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is only really a theoretical flex pick if you don't actually play it on both sides.
True.
But could also just be that they favor the matchup a little bit. Lux going to be able to hopefully shove in Ezreal pretty hard here and maybe be able to get some roams off.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's a lot of question marks in this game. I'm really curious what the Ezreal mid's going to do, what this Rammus can do, and if Twisty and Rutinium can survive the Samira Alistar, because that looks like a hard losing lane to me. As I'm not a bot lane player, Gordo, but to my untrained eye, that lane looks unplayable. Like, I don't think you can play in that lane past level 2. So let's hope Twisty and Rutinium can prove me wrong.
Yeah, definitely going to be really a lot of onus on every player on both sides in these games. Definitely some important executions here. King of Apes having to survive against this Tryndamere, the Lilia being a very important farming pick. The the crazy Rammus and Ezreal mid picks coming through. Just so much onus on each member of both of these teams in order to be able to execute here on what are really quite a few unusual picks coming through in this game.
Mm-hmm. But it is a game 5. Anything goes, and it doesn't really matter how you get across the finish line. It kind of matters, but the fact is, can you get across the finish line? Can you blow up the Nexus?
Yeah, and both teams going to have to go all out here if they want to move on to the final. This is the winner-take-all final match. Mm-hmm. We're going to take a short break here to load on up into the game, get everything all synchronized. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back in just a couple minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to this 5th and final game of the LHGPL semifinals between Bebe, Pengies, and Omega Gaming Syndicate. I'm Gordo, joined by Simalcrum, and Simalcrum, this is where we find it all out. This is where we decide who's heading to these finals to join Akuma.
Yes, indeed, Gordo. Who will win? Cleanse, Conqueror, Ezreal mid, or Ignite, Lethal Tempo, Tryndamere top?
I hate these picks. I really do. But I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this game. But I was not ready to see a Rammus tonight, and here he is in all his glory, hanging out by the birds.
Okay, Gordo, I could have accepted the Rammus if he went something spicy like Predator Ghost, like something like where you just see you're talking about.
He's using the soccer ball skin. He's just going to be a soccer ball walking around the map.
Yeah, but he could have been a soccer ball speeding around at 1 kms, but he's not because he has Aftershock and Flash.
We'll see. There's some builds that people can go for. You don't know what items he's gonna end up with.
Okay.
We might see something a little fancy coming out. Maybe a Righteous Glory or something like that. I could see.
True.
This Rammus. I don't know what Rammus builds.
I don't even know what Rammus does as a champion until we looked him up on the wiki just now, Gordo. So.
All right, I'm not in that poor of a situation, but
yeah, you're clearly advantaged.
We looked up some ability names. We're all set here. Alt is called Tremors, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
Wait, what is this?
Not early by this Conqueror Ezreal.
Oh my god!
Gets a solo kill.
What?
Saruman starts off the game with first blood, making a statement here against Intexi.
I guess if he lands almost every Mystic shot, you just can solo kill level 1.
I think that's true of a lot of champions, to be fair, but now Blood King and King of Apes going to be traded up in this top lane. These solo laners getting aggressive on their spicy picks in the early game.
That struck me as a bit of an emotional Ignite, Gordo. Like, he saw his mid laner get solo killed, and he's like, I gotta turn it around. I've got Lethal Tempo procced. I'm gonna drop the Ignite, and I'm gonna run this guy down. But...
yeah. And emotion's definitely going to play a factor in this series, as is endurance. We were talking about endurance earlier, but just if you think about this... how often do you really play like 5, even solo queue games back to back to back to back to back? Like it's not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of energy expenditure, especially in this situation where you're playing even more competitively, where you're strategizing in between games, where any little mistake could be punished on.
Ooh, here we go.
Definitely something to be on the lookout for, as King of Apes going to be engaged on here by Fallen Artemis. He's likely going to be picked up here. Blood King going to get the first kill in that lane, equalizing here, and now Saruman getting snared up here, being forced to jump away from Intexi.
Yeah, and look how far Ruthenium and Twisty have to play. Fortunately, the wave is coming to them. Oh, yep, and this...
Now, Kanina going in onto Twisty here, followed up by a dash from the Samira. Samira taking some return damage here, but you talked about it in Champion Select, Malcolm. Ruthenium getting aggressed on here does not have the tools to stop Alistar Samira.
Yep, and that was a summoner for free. That was just... Alistar can go for that same bread and butter combo in about 5-6 seconds. And so, again, we come back to the state where... Twisty and
Rammus is coming through. He's rolling on through. This animation's hilarious. I've never even seen this skin. But Corkmore now gonna come on through. Not gonna be able to make anything happen. Oh, that's delightful. I'm excited to see more of that. I love that Powerball animation.
It's pretty good. I think Soccer Ball should be
He's bouncing around. I didn't think they put that much work into that skin. I have a newfound appreciation.
It's a very simple aesthetic, and it works really, really well. Okay, the game.
Certainly.
Yeah, the game is certainly quieted down now. Both junglers just farming it out. King of Apes was actually forced back. Gordo, Do you spot the strange item in Mordekaiser's inventory? Because I'm scratching my head. Must
I spot two of them actually. I spot both the longsword and the dagger, and I'm confused about both of them.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think the dagger makes more sense, but in the context of the game, absolutely, it's definitely out of place. You'd want to see Ninja Tabby Bramble Vest coming out immediately for Mordekaiser. That
What
longsword,
about biscuits on a manaless champion? How do you feel about that?
that's also a bit confusing, and I think Twisty
Yeah,
is
and
dead.
now he's gonna be a big.
Oh, he's not dead.
Twisty. Oh,
Wait.
Kanina flashing under the turret and going to go down here.
I bit over aggressive. It seems like Kanina and the Samira were not on the same page. Kanina's like, go pedal to the metal. He wants to go in, and the Samira's like, nah, I'm gonna chill. I'm just gonna
We
farm.
might have a fiesta for this game 3. Is Blood King going to go in with Fallen
Ooh,
Artemis
great
here,
death
going to
scrap.
go on the King of Apes. He's going to be forced to flash away here.
Oh, Virtinium is on a warpath. What is this?
Rutenium just going up, going to be getting these airy procs, going to get one of his bombs parried out onto, but he doesn't care. He's just making sure Twisty can sit back here, farm up, and now they're going to go on for the recall.
Yep. Okay, misses the second one. Okay, here comes Alistar. No flash, though, so Rutinium should be pretty confident in walking away here. Has flash exhaust available.
And now Korgmore up, and I'm going to laugh every time I see Korgmore this game.
The-
It's coming on up here, clearing away a pink ward.
Rammus really does feel like a holdover from like the original days of League. Like he looks modern. Like
Oh, that's because he is.
No, no,
Like,
absolutely.
When they changed, we were talking in between the game. At some point, they changed puncturing taunt to frenzying taunt. I kind of remember it happening, but my brain didn't register the name change. But like that alone is not enough.
Oh my God!
Over the wall, he's going in for the gank onto Intexi. He's got the backup from Saruman here, who's going to be able to guarantee some several skill shot hits off of the frenzying taunt. Going to go for the last Q. He's gonna
Four-man
land it.
mid.
Successful Rammus gank for Korgmore as the game is going to be tied up at 2-2.
Okay, Rammus is just too good, I guess. He just flashed.
He's broken.
He clearly he flashed over the wall and just killed Intexi. Okay, and
Yeah, no, that's the old school.
That's
Actually, Powerball coming in here.
Oh
He's
my
so
God.
fast. He's gonna
Oh
force
my
the flash
God.
on Rutinium.
wait. What's he maxing? Let's see. What is he
Probably
maxing?
Powerball.
He
I
is
think he maxed Powerball.
Yeah, he's maxing Powerball. Absolutely.
All right, so he's gonna be going. He's got to go fast, and he's gonna keep going fast throughout the rest of this game. Blood King taking a little bit of a trade here from King of Apes, actually getting a lot of damage through.
Yeah, he
from
won
that,
the trade. Wait, that's
he's not even maxing spinning slash. It just did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think it's also because King of Apes was tanking the wave because he just went and autoed Blood King like that.
Certainly fair. So they're going to be moving in to the bot lane, using that frenzying taunt onto the dragon, getting the attack speed boost. But that gank in mid lane earlier, I was going to say, really, if I'm gonna keep talking about old school stuff because you know what, we got Rammus in this game. This is an old school game. And that gank path, to flash over the Wraith wall to go behind your opponent, that's an old school Alistar jungle gank path. You used to, when Alistar was a viable jungle, you used to go into that Wraith wall, flash over the wall, and headbutt people in the middle of the lane.
Sure,
it feels
sure.
like it's the same kind of deal there as you come through with the puncturing taunt on this Rammus pick. As Korgmore might find himself a little bit caught out here, does not have access to the Powerball, so is going to get engaged on and going to likely be picked up here by Fallen Artemis as he goes down. Now Blood King diving on to King of Apes, but he's got the Undying Fury from the Tryndamere. He gets the solo kill through the Death Realm, and he is now up 2-0 in this top lane.
Gets a plate, and yeah, Tryndamere off to the races. This is the win condition for Syndicate. They need Blood King to be in a winning position to threaten a huge side lane push, and so he's there. He's 2-0. He has an XP. Oh, Alistar looking.
And Kanina has successfully hex flashed into the second bush. They might not realize that he's there. He might be engaged here on Rutinium. He goes forward. He gets the knockup. He's going to go for the headbutt. Gets him pushed into the alcove here. He's only level 4. Cannot survive here. Gets dashed into by the Samira. Is likely going to be picked up. Kanina actually ends up taking that kill. As now they're going to move forward. They flash on to Twisty to try to go for this kill. They get the Inferno trigger. They use it, and they pick up another kill. A 2v2 for the side of Baby Pengies. Everybody in this game going all in to try to make it happen. Very close game thus far.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I said would happen. The Twisty and Rutinium have no way to stop Alistar from going in like that. And oh, that's a lot of damage.
Whoa.
Ouch. Mind you, that's a tier Ezreal. There's no damage behind that yet. That's just him with tier and saying I'm gonna almost kill you with tier. Cool.
Yeah, damage does not get reduced by going through minions anymore, so
True.
if you're going to be hit by that Mystic Shot, or not Mystic Shot, True Shot Barrage, Mystic Shot
Gordo, I'm the longer this game goes, the more baffled I get. Can you help me understand what King of Apes is building?
I
Because
think it might be Hextech Gunblade.
but what's the dagger for? I'm so confused.
Okay, I can't answer the dagger. The dagger was a misclick. I don't know what the dagger is, but I'm pretty sure the Vamp Scepter and the Longsword are part of a Bilgewater Cutlass that will someday become a Hextech Gunblade. I assume he's trying to go for something a little bit more sustain heavy to 1v1 Blood King. That doesn't work. I don't understand.
Oh,
But
Micah.
we're gonna see. He's gonna give us the answers. But King of Apes has definitely not been one to shy away from some spicy builds this game.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Apparently, B. Ryan Chet called it. I don't know what he called. I think there was mention of Triforce, but it's Gunblade. It has to be Gunblade.
It's got to be Gunblade.
Like, okay, yeah. Like, what else would it be?
Yeah, he's got the Vamp Scepter, so
Yeah, absolutely. This is the battle of the solo lanes right here, with like a brief cameo by the bot lane. So
for sure.
yeah, that
This is what we wanted out of
Yes,
Game 5.
yes.
Not necessarily the picks, not necessarily the builds, but the gameplay. As everybody going all in here, tons of solo kills left and right going on in these lanes, as neither of these teams want to give anything up.
Gordon, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know there's a lot of explosive playmaking potential for the Pengies comp, but I just want to put the camera on top lane. I want to see what this Mordekaiser does with his full AD build thus far. I want to know more.
We're going to have to keep track and watch, as Blood King has finished his Essence Reaver, though. That's not a troll build. That is what Tryndamires go these days.
True.
They just value the CDR and AD and crit so highly, they don't even care that they don't get value out of the mana passive.
This is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Also, we see it.
That one's not a troll build. I can make no promises about King of Apes build, but Blood King is building standard.
So I don't know what the Samir is going. The Vamp Scepter might just be like a brief stop, like you're just like, I want the lifesteal. But I sincerely hope that's not Bloodthirster first.
Oh my god, if it's Bloodthirster Rush, I'm losing my mind here, Smalkram. I can't handle this much craziness in one game. I can only adapt to one thing at a time. I'm like a fish.
True. I guess
Right.
I could see it going heavy on healing, just because it's not easy for Syndicate to itemize multiple iterations of Grievous Wounds. Tryndamere wants the side lane. You don't want to bring him down to deal with Deathstorm coming in.
And now going to be a fight coming in from King of Apes. For those looking for an update, he has a Warden's Mail now, which he's using to just wail away on Blood King here. Might be able to force out the ultimate, as they likely will. The Rammus has come in. Korgmore looking to make a difference here, but he gets put to sleep by Fallen Artemis.
Okay.
Fallen Artemis looks like he's just going to be able to carry this fight here, as the Rammus has already gone down. Blood King flashing away, no longer has access to the Undying Rage, but it's just Lilia running around the side.
Oh my
Fallen
God.
Artemis going to be able to pick up King of Apes.
He's
It's
still
going to be a 2-for-0 in the
That's
favor
tower.
of Omega Gaming Syndicate.
They get towered because they have the Rift Child. Yeah, they drop Shelly. Here comes the headbutt pulverize.
Yeah, but now here comes the engage from the bot lane. Good knockup from the Alistar, going to force the flash away from Twisty. As, oh, King of Apes, what are you doing, man? The Warden's Mail just, it brings on more questions that I can't answer.
Oh, here's the.
Oh, and that's going to be a flash engage from Kanina. They're likely going to be able to pick up Rutinium here, maybe going
They
to
can't.
force out the ultimate, but not even going to do that, as he's going to be able to retreat under tower and get away with the Chrono Shift still up. A little bit of lag there as we get the ultimate coming through.
Oh, there's the Alistar ult forced out as well. Must have been forced out off screen. Man, I just want to watch King of Apes play because
Kanina getting another engage here on a Rutinium. That's going to be the Chrono Shift blow, and that's what they've wanted this whole time, and they are going to successfully do it.
yeah, and you can see Saruman and Korgmore playing towards the bot side. They're gonna get the second Drake, so an Infernal in their pocket. But
Yeah.
the top side is winning for Syndicate. The Tryndamere well and truly online, sitting at
Well and truly online, and it almost seems to be being gifted like a greater lead, as I don't, these items, they don't work.
yeah, absolutely. They do not. Oh, this could be spooky actually for Syndicate if Pengies get Cloud Soul. Just Samira with Cloud Soul does not sound pleasant. She already can move. She already has a mobile Katarina ult. Like, why would you just tack on more movement speed on top of that?
Oh, he's got a Ruby Crystal now. I don't.
Okay.
I can't look away.
Oh.
It's like a train
Oh.
wreck, Smalkram.
Oh my
I
God.
don't want to watch, but I can't look away. I want to talk about something else, but how can I when Mordekaiser's walking in the lane with these items?
Okay. So I think it's gonna be Randuin's, and beyond that, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's Thornmail. Maybe he's going Thornmail. I just. Okay, we've done this before.
Ulted onto by King of
We've
Apes.
done this
Can
before.
him and his smorgasbord of items come through and solo out Blood King without making him ulti? He's gone into the Undying Rage. He's trying to dash away here. Fallen Artemis once again here to try to make the difference.
Great sleep.
Morgmore
Oh, good ult.
Mordekaiser are both going to get put to sleep, and an excellent snipe from Saruman does take down Blood King. That's going to be the shutdown gold going right where you want it onto your 3-0 Ezreal. He's got the Man Immune completed, and Saruman going to be looking to be the main carry for this game.
Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, great Death's Grasp, but...
Yeah, it's going to be doing as much damage as you can on this weird AD tank Mordekaiser, as now Intexie's found himself caught up.
Great stun.
He's been taunted up for quite a while. Great stun coming through from
Oh!
Rutenium. Followed up by the ultimate. Double kill instantly to Fallen Artemis. The Ezreal's already been able to shut down the Lux, but can he do more as he's flanking onto Fallen Artemis and Rutenium? They're going to be forced to fall away. Great fight, though. Very huge Q coming through from Fallen Artemis on this Lilia to pick up the instant double kill.
Oh, I knew. Okay, okay. He's going Randuin's. He's going Randuin's.
He's going Randuin's.
It's okay.
Decided.
He sold the dagger. He sold the dagger. So it has to be Randuin's Gunblade. I think it has to be Randuin's Gunblade.
Okay, I'm okay. Like I don't like Randuin's Gunblade, but at least it's items. It's like tier 3 items. He's completing them and combining them into more items.
Okay, I think
It's what I want to see.
Okay. So I've talked
Oh,
about.
and it was the Bloodthirster rush, by the way.
Oh.
Okay. Does have a Bloodthirster.
It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because now Jin's forced to go Grievous Wounds, and then you need one of the APs to go Grievous Wounds as well. But still, it's like, couldn't you just go IE and kill them anyway? I don't know. I don't know.
I see a comment in chat that says man's got the Salvation Army in his inventory, and
hey, he's gonna take what he can get at this point, I guess. So
yeah.
So Gordo, I don't know.
I'm not even 100% sure he's gonna complete this Randuin's. I've been hurt too many times.
Yeah,
by
you've been betrayed too many times. I understand. So
no, gotta be the dash coming on in here.
Oh,
Ardmore not being able to make it happen on this Rammus so far, but the beauty of Rammus is that it's one of those champions where even when it's behind, it kind of still does the same thing. It's gonna roll at you. It's gonna taunt people for a long time.
True.
Yeah. Rammus actually can be almost like a suppression champion in that way. The taunt lasts so long, especially once you get more ranks in it. It's 1.5 seconds at base, and I believe scales up with level.
Mm-hmm. I think... Oh, good try.
It ends up being like a pseudo-suppression in that way, where it can force people to buy QSS just to not get taken out of the fight by it. So, a potential advantage to look out for here, if Korgmore can successfully force people to build QSSs, that is like a de facto gold lead for his team.
So, this is interesting. They actually gave the Shelly to Mordekaiser. And the trade's going to be made. They get bot tier 1, does Syndicate. Oh, man. I'm on the edge of my seat, Gordo. I just want to see what the Mordekaiser builds. Does he complete the Randuin's? Does he build Death Stance?
Oh, and that's going to be a big gank coming in from the Rammus, but he does get bound up by the Light Binding right away, but going to be taunting under
Oh,
Serenity.
man.
He can just tank that up forever as the Tremors plus the Ezreal ultimate going to pick up that kill. He does go down to the turret eventually, though, as King of Apes now coming down to place down the Rift Herald, but he's going to get turned around on by 3 members of Omega Gaming, but actually an excellent ultimate down, able to suck in the blood, or actually Rutenium while Blood King goes down on the other side. He might go down to this bomb here, but doesn't matter as he's already been able to secure his team a good position in the fight as Twisty's already gone down over to Kanina. They've picked up the mid lane turret and they're pushing even further. They get the engage onto the Zillion. He doesn't have the chrono shift. Actually, he does. He pops it down right away. Wasn't looking at the cooldown there. Is Kanina going to follow up here, going to get the stun, and he's going to go down anyway through the chrono shift. Teleport coming in through, but it's too late for Intexie on this Lux. They're going to move over, try to take their first dragon of the game, or their third dragon of the game, rather.
No ult on Fallen and no flash, so this might be really, really dangerous for them to approach. They have Blood King and Twisty coming in from base, but I don't think they can contest with the TP from Mordekaiser. So this is third Drake. Oh my God, he has the Randuin's.
No, he does, and he's going to be getting onto Intexie and taking him down right away.
Man, Intexie
That's gonna be the fight.
Intexie is not having a good game, Gordo. Not at all. Gets solo killed level 1 by the Ezreal mid and has just been bullied ever since by this Rammus.
All right, so moving on in here to pick up their third dragon. They're now on Soul Point. You know, early game, we were ready to hand a lot of this over to Omega Gaming Syndicate, but they managed to pull it back on the side of Baby Pengies with the help of this Rammus and this incredibly fed Ezreal in the mid lane. They're starting to turn this game around, and they are now on Soul Point and pretty close in goal.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game. I'm actually surprised that Syndicate still have a gold lead because it really feels like they're on the back foot in terms of tempo and playmaking because they don't have great playmaking tools. They're really, really reliant on Blood King being a sideline threat and making Pengies play around that fact. But that's not really the case right now because Blood King's been grouping more than I think he should, and they've been bleeding objectives. The Jin's been all but shut down. He's pretty weak right now and is... I guess he doesn't want Grievous wounds. He doesn't need them, apparently.
And I hate to keep talking about builds this game, Samalcrum, but Blood King has a stinger.
Okay, this is normal. Don't worry, Gordo. That's actually normal.
Is it? Okay.
It's actually normal. That's pretty standard.
Is he going Triforce? Or he just wants the CDR?
It could be so that it's not usually Triforce. It's either he sits on Stinger or he completes Nashor's Tooth.
Oh wow, all right.
Because so Nashor's Tooth provides 20% CDR, and the AP is not a wasted stat on Tryndamere.
Okay, actually getting the engage here on the King of Apes.
He just kills him.
To take a lot reduced crit damage.
Oh my god, the Randuin's is too broken!
Might not be enough here. He's trying to survive with the shield, but does not. He ends up going down to Blood King at the end of the day. While the rest of his team is engaging in the jungle, and Texi is now getting locked down by Kanina, but Kanina going to have to back away here as the rest of his team is retreating.
Oh, there goes Rammus.
Rammus looking to hunt for Blood King here. The rest of his team
trying
to
no, Rutinium. Good flash.
He's been caught out by Kanina as Kanina trying to get the engage off here, trying to move forward on the Blood King without getting stunned up by Rutinium, but Rutinium does manage to land that stun. Now going to be Blood King hiding out in the alcove, eventually getting stunned up by Rammus.
Huge ult.
Shut down, multi-man ultimate for the side of the Lux as in Texi able to pick up another kill. They're turning this fight around. They pick up Korgmore. They pick up the Ace, and they're going to move on to the Baron as Omega Gaming Syndicate, not out of this game yet, going to move on, try to take more Barons.
What a great Lux ult. The binding into the Lux ult, a little bit of a misfire on the Chrono Shift and the Undying Rage, but I'll look back. Don't die. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Don't worry, everyone. He's fine.
All right.
Oh, man. That teamfight win came out of nowhere, though.
Mordekaiser has completed his Bilgewater Cutlass.
Okay. It could still...
Okay.
So...
Blood King working on his Infinity Edge. I think the builds have normalized a little bit.
Oh, man.
I'm exhausted. I feel like this game has been like 4 games.
I'm just in a state of shock and awe at this Mordekaiser. Man, I've never Mordekaiser can be pretty relevant from behind just because of Death Realm, but he's felt more relevant because he has Randuin's Bilgewater. I don't know why. I feel like it gives him more power.
It gives him power over me for sure.
Yes, exactly. You're thinking about it.
We can't help but talk.
Yeah, you're trying to rationalize it. You're in your head. You're like, okay, why the Randuin's? Okay, it makes sense, but the Bilgewater, why? Like, why in God's name is that in his inventory?
Here comes the Rammus engage, the flash forward, matching the flash of Intexi, going to take him down
Great
right away.
Shift.
As Omega Gaming getting turned on, only 2 targets going to end up going to sleep, as the ultimate from Zillion going to res up Fallen Artemis just in time for him to go down again. Korgmore has been traded back onto, but it is a 2-for-1 in the favor of Baby Pengies. Baby Pengies now... They do need to notice that their bot lane is getting pushed on by this Tryndamere. They don't have anybody answering it. They are going to send back King of Apes. That's a flash forward from Kanina just to die to Jhin. What on earth? And Saruman going to be finding out the opposing support in his own jungle, going to pick him up there as Twisty is stuck on the defense. Meanwhile, King of Apes has completed his recall, but the bot lane turret's already been taken down. Can he stop Blood King from taking this, or is Blood King just going to turn around and fight him for it as he immediately gets the AD reduction from his mocking shout coming through? Blood King going to now go for this 1v1 likely, or just going to try to take the inhibitor. He has the Undying Rage available, but now he's going to get sucked into the Death Realm, so he can't get taunted by Rammus, and he gets the inhibitor as a result of that. But he does end up going down at the end of the day.
This is probably Soul though for Pengies.
That was so troll for King of Apes, by the way. They could have saved the inhibitor off of Korgmore's taunt, but he couldn't get the taunt because he got sucked into the Death Realm.
I mean, Gordo, you're absolutely right, but the Mordekaiser that builds Bilgewater Cutlass probably doesn't think about stuff like that. His attention is on other matters. He's not concerned with the micro of, oh, if I don't ult here, I can deny the inhibitor being taken. No. He wants to complete that Gunblade. That's all he cares about. He wants to go for that slow every 45 seconds. That's what he wants.
That is. That is. All right. Well, I mean, King of Apes though, he's been making it happen.
Okay.
Nonetheless. I told you that we might still see the fast Ramas. I told you that he could still build right
Yeah,
to glory. I'm glad that he's at least come through for me there.
Yeah, okay.
Clearly, I have some idea of what's going on in this game, even if it's only the Ramas.
Okay, Gordo. So I'm not gonna disagree that he can go fast. I'm saying with Ghost Predator, he can go faster.
You're right.
He
You're
can go faster.
Right. There's going to be a huge engage here coming in from Kanina. He's going to be getting the stun onto Intexi, but he has no follow-up from the rest of his team. The Ezreal has to keep his distance. Here comes Ramus just bouncing his way through on the other side. He's going to land the taunt here onto Intexi. They're going for the kill here. He gets the chrono shift onto him, so Intexi's going to be coming back up. Now Blood King forced to go on into his Undying Rage. The multiple preventing death abilities coming down from Omega Gaming Syndicate to keep their teammates alive. Now that they're both down, this is the Pengies' chance, as they've already lost one member, but they're going to be pushing forward even more with the help of King of Apes, but they can't lock down any targets. They've only lost their Ramus for nothing. They have control over the map, but they haven't actually won the fight.
True, true. So I think if Syndicate can stop the Mordekaiser from going back, there is no answer for the base, because they don't have a lot of wave clear. They don't have a lot of AP. Okay.
Yeah, now that's going to be the Mordekaiser ultimate coming down onto Fallen Artemis. Fallen Artemis is stuck here in this death realm. Going to be trying to get the 1v1 going to put the Mordekaiser to sleep.
Oh no.
Likely just to wait out the ultimate and finishes him off with the Eep from her W. Fallen Artemis now has taken King of Apes off the map. They are up 5-4 over the course of this map. Now going in hard. This Lilia is so quick. She's able to get onto Samira, but they're able to keep her away with the help of Kanina. Now they're chasing in on here. The mocking shout from Blood King likely going to be up soon. Here it comes as the chicken comes through, and nowhere to go for the Samira. She gets taken down pretty easily here as Rutinium appears to have caught out Kanina, trying to get him slowed down as much as possible, but not going to be able to do so. Look at the base, though. As he retreats back, the bouncing Ramus comes through once again, but there's nothing he's going to be able to do with two of his teammates dead.
Oh my god. What a game. Oh, and the base just keeps taking a beating from Syndicate's super minion. They don't have great wave clear with Mordekaiser overcommitting for Fallen Artemis. And yeah, Pengies have soul, but I don't know how much value it's going to give when the fights are this scattered. When Syndicate are not allowing Pengies to fight on their terms. They keep using the Zillion to disengage and weave in and out of these fights, just dancing on the edge of Pengies' all-in team fight. Like, the Samira wasn't allowed to get a great ult, and even when she did, was already dead by the time she got in.
Yeah, and that fight shows how perfect the execution has to be from Baby Pengies in these fights, just because of all the preventing death abilities that they have on the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate. As I'm going to take a break here, Nine is getting caught out, but no, he's going to retreat away here, probably, yes.
Okay.
So, the reason that it's so difficult for them to win these fights is because you saw in the last fight they were able to catch out the Lux, but she gets revived up by Chrono Shift, and then they're able to catch out Blood King, but he survives with the Undying Rage, and you realize that despite getting 2 picks in that fight, you haven't actually gotten any kills. And now it's a huge flank from Ramus, landing a 4-man Powerball, going to come through onto this Zillion. He's forced to blow Chrono Shift onto himself, and that means Intexi is vulnerable all on his own. Rutenium caught in a 1v5, going to be taken down right away, as the Jin's been able to pick up Korgmore, but Korgmore's already done his job. The ultimate comes down from Mordekaiser, sucking up Blood King, and Blood King's going to be able to finish him off. It's a 2-for-2, all said and done. And it looks like Baby Pengies not able to capitalize off that engage as much as they would like to, and they're only able to trade 2-for-2.
What a crazy fight. And Gordo, it was a great fight from both sides, but I am just drawn. I am fixated on this Gunblade Randuin's Mordekaiser. That's all I care about. That's all I can look at. He's completed the Gunblade, and let's see what he can do with it.
This is the build he's been working for all game. He's built a lot of different pieces, some of them necessary, some of them not. And he's got it now. It's all online. This is the I can stop Tryndamere in a side lane Mordekaiser build. It has to be what it's for, right?
Gordo, I'm not actually sure. So I'm just gonna say yes. Yes, that's what he's going for.
All right. Well, we're going to hope that that's what it is. I don't quite understand. I get the Randuins. The Gunblade leaves me a little confused. Maybe it's for the slow?
Yeah, maybe he wants to catch Lilia.
Kind of slow him and kite him out better?
Yeah, or he can catch Lilia or Zillion with it. I don't know. But we do have...
Yeah, it's not like a bad item.
Yeah, no, not at all. So we do...
Not meta.
Okay, we do have...
That
was close.
Almost stealing away that Scuttler, not quite getting it though.
Yeah, so Baron's up and Elder in 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it's safe to say that whoever can safely secure this Baron will get Elder.
Here we go. King of Apes in the 1v1 here. King of Apes has completed his anti-Tryndamere build, and it seems to kind of be working out here. He's got Saruman for backup on the damage here as well. Now Blood King trying to run away here. He might get taken down by Saruman, and he does. That's the split pusher taken out for the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate as Baby Pengies might want to move up towards this Baron. They have a man advantage on the map now. They have Korgmor to come and face check these bushes.
Indeed, indeed. So, it's unfortunate that Syndicate were unable to punish and with Saruman being drawn to the bot side of the map. Flash is available for
Dragon
Fallen.
has been started up by the Bebe. Pengies. Korgmor is so fast with this Powerball going. He's just running it back and forth in front of Intexi, threatening to engage at any time.
Not
call. Quite going through with it, though, as they are starting up the Baron. The Baron is going to be peeled away from here. One of the shots is going to be blocked away from by the Samira.
And I think right now, Gordo, the Elder Dragon is much more important than the Baron. Because if you get the Elder, you can just... These very close fights are suddenly not close. Because you're suddenly playing with 1/5 less HP.
Yeah, and all importantly, the Elder Drake going to be spawning up here in 30 seconds. Luckily for the side of Omega Gaming, Syndicate is the Air Drake this game, so not one of the most powerful combat Drakes available. Not a huge number of champions on the side.
Oh! The Electrocute! That's huge.
The Electrocute manages to pick it up, and Intexi has completely soloed out the opposing team's 80 carry before the fight even begins, and that's going to be traded back on, potentially, as the Chrono Shift gets blown, trying to keep Intexi alive. It's going to be well-timed on the True Shot Barrage, but not going to be able to take Intexi down any further. Chrono Shift down, but that is the only advantage for the side of Baby Pengies, who are already down their 80 carry. They likely can't take this fight, and they likely have to give away the Elder Drake. King of Apes does not want to do that. He's stepping on forward.
Oh, that might be it.
Not be able to do it. He flashes forward and gets Fallen Artemis into the Death Realm, but it's too late. The Dragon's already down. Fallen Artemis just going to solo out King of Apes here from within the Death Realm, take him out with the Elder Drake, and now it is a 5v3 on the map. Elder Drake secured for the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate. They can move up for the Baron.
Oof. This game is still so close. The Ezreal might come up in time, and it might be enough to snipe out Fallen on the Lilia. Oh, this is close. And we still have Korgmor alive. Doesn't have Flash, doesn't have Tremors, but the taunt is still very scary. And I think Syndicate wisely choose not to approach the Baron. They're going to let Blood King... Oh,
Blood King, though,
he has no ults.
Into the Alistair, going to be forced to flash away here, but luckily that's all he has to do. Not going to go down here. Did not have the Undying Rage available, so is certainly at a lot of risk. Now
watch out, Fallen.
Going to be starting up this Baron. Fallen Artemis so low here. Chrono Shift going to come down to try to res up Fallen Artemis, but he might not die to the Baron. You got to stop regenning off of that jungle item, and he does so. He's going to regen up. He's going to resurrect, have full HP again, or at least close to it. He's likely going to smite down this Baron. He does get it, but now Intexi's been engaged on by the Mordekaiser. He's going to be soloed out by this Gunblade build from King of Apes. Now Fallen Artemis getting engaged on from Korgmor. Korgmor going to taunt him up and take him down. That's 2 more kills over to the side of the Baby Pengies. They aren't out of this game yet.
Yeah, very, very risky Baron to go for. And I think that's... I'm going to be honest, Cordell, I think Syndicate got off lucky. They managed to retain the Baron on a few members. They had to burn some summoners, but they get away largely unscathed. They get the Elder, and they secure a okay Baron. But I think this lack of TP on Trinimir is really hurting him now. The Ignite not offering a lot. The Ignite's not threatening to kill anyone anymore. And... So that really...
with King of Apes building a giant spell.
Deadbands. Deadbands or Warmogs. Deadbands or Warmogs. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 of the better choices.
I think it's Warmogs because then he could try to face tank the wave and then he can walk away. It's not quite the level of efficiency that Ornn gets from it because, well, Mordekaiser's a juggernaut. He's not a tank like Ornn, so bit less useful, but still, I think you can still make it work.
Yeah, and now you could say it might also be for the Mordekaiser Death Realm, which it might be.
True,
but 2 Quicksilver Sashes have been picked up for the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate. They've got 1 on Blood King, and they've got 1 on Twisty. Yes, it might be for the Death Realm, as I said, but as I said earlier, you know, King of Apes and Twisty are not ending up very close to each other in the vast majority of these fights. King of Apes is not... They're filling different roles on the map, and they're ending up in different areas. I'm fairly certain that Quicksilver Sash has in fact been purchased to stop the taunt from Korgmor and to prevent Twisty from being able to be soloed out that way.
That makes sense to me. As I don't think the Baron lasts much longer for Syndicate. Good.
Gonna be good.
Oh, that's the Alistair ult. That's huge.
That is Alistair ult being used to cleanse away. They're getting a little bit scared of that final spark from the Lux. Now, just Blood King going to be going in, face tanking this turret to solo it out. Another turret being picked up in mid lane. Here's the flank from the Rammus. He's in here 1v4. He gets the taunt down on a Twisty, but it's going to be immediately QSS'd away from, but it doesn't matter.
I think
he
that was
just
a
gets
misclick.
shut down instantly by the Samira from the other side. That's going to be a 1-for-1 so far, as Blood King gets sucked into the Death Realm, cleanses out of it, but gets picked up by Samira again. Now, it's just going to be Saruman flashing forward along with his AD carry. They're trying to carry this fight as King of Apes is frontlining for them on his tanky build. He's going forward. He's going to get almost blown up by the flower from... but that's going to be a pickup for Intexi. He lands the final spark yet again and is able to pick up a kill.
Oh my god, man. Gordo, we've been in this game for 35 minutes, and I don't think we're any closer to figuring out who's going to win. I think either team can take it in the blink of an eye. It's just that close. The goal doesn't matter anymore.
It absolutely is, and this is what you're hoping for in a game 5.
Oh, yeah. I think the fatigue is starting to set in, because that wasn't a great chrono shift from Rutillium. I think he meant to go on Twisty, but he misclicked and hit Lilia instead.
Oh, I can't blame them. The fatigue is setting in on at this point. I'm losing my mind in this series, as it's coming down to the absolute wire. I think you called it with that Warmogs pick, as King of Apes going for the Kindle Gem, going for the extra Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, and I think the Blade of the Rune King might have been a pretty prescient choice from Blood King. Anticipating...
Okay, and by the way, Samira just loves the look of that Randuin's on King of Apes so much.
What?
That he's getting his own, baby!
Oh, okay. Gordo,
and you know what? I actually kind of like the Randuin's on Samira when you've already got full build. He's got a second AD carry who's bringing in a lot of the AD damage necessary from the side of Saruman. And now, since he wants to be in the middle of everybody anyway, when he's using Inferno Trigger, he can also slow people down and resist crits.
I suppose so. I would have liked to see Death Stance, but I can see your logic. I can see your reasoning.
He's up against like 200% crit chance champs, though. It kind of makes sense.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm agreeing with you. I think both are acceptable choices. Certainly Randuin's the more unconventional of the two, but does slot in the context of this game. But again, Blood King unable to get the split push going.
There's 3 Randuin's Homens on the side of Baby Pengies this game.
It makes sense considering how much the Tryndamere's been grouping. It's really unfortunate that he's not sidelining as much as he can. I guess...
I think some of that, though, is the build coming out of King of Apes. Is
Absolutely.
Kind of able to survive through these one-on-ones now. As it's an attempted engage coming through from the Rammus, but he's going to get snared up. The slow comes down from the side of Fallen Artemis. He's in the Death Realm. He's going to get picked up immediately. Twisty is already down early on in this fight. Blood King trying to flank in from the side instead of split pushing. It's going to be a 3-man knockup from the side of Kanina as he's trying to carry this fight as best as he can. King of Apes walking forward, but going to get picked up by a stray Lux binding. Now going to go. It's going to be a 4v4 as they approach this dragon. The Elder Dragon is up yet again. Both teams want to be able to get onto this. Blood King forced to recall as he's so low and no longer has access to the Undying Rage. It's effectively a 3v4 here. Rutillium does still have access to that Chrono Shift. Fallen Artemis trying to sneak around from the side, but going to get picked up by Saruman, who's picked up another kill here. He's been carrying this game thus far. 9-1-9 on this Ezreal. Manages to pick up the jungler yet again right before the Elder Drake is taken. This is likely going to be going over to the side of Baby Pengies. A huge play from their mid laner.
And now, if they get a 5-man Elder buff, which they're going to have the 5-man Elder, this probably means Baron. This
King
could...
of Apes is dead. 4-man, but yes.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, I was going to make... No, that's mean. Anyway, a 4-man strong Elder buff, I think with the Baron, that's enough. I think King of Apes is just Galaxy Brain. He's itemized to shut down and contain Blood King, which has succeeded. The Blood King has not been able to side lane effectively for the past, 17 minutes. I think right now the advantage is in...
Are you calling this 4-11 Mordekaiser a strategic success, Samelkru?
Yeah.
All right.
If they get there.
Now, King of Apes actually has walked on.
Never mind. I changed my mind.
He's gotten caught up in the 1v2. He's had to blow up the shield. Has not quite died here yet. Going to be regenning here, and does have access to the Warmog, so he can just stand back here and try to regen all his HP. Look at it. He's doing it.
Oh my god, the Warmog is just too broken. All right, Fallen's gonna go for a flash steal, I think.
Yeah, no, King of Apes still can walk.
Oh, he gets it!
Fallen goes for the flash steal, and he gets takes it. He's not willing to give up this game here. He's going to trade back onto Korgmore, too, while he's at it. A huge play from the jungler of Omega Gaming Syndicate. Not willing to give up this game on one of his signature champions, this Lilia. Flashes into the pit and steals away the Baron.
Oh, okay. So, Gordo, the game is still not over, but keep in mind, Pengies still have Elder. They can still threaten a decisive team fight, and if they win, Baron doesn't matter. If they win the fight,
this
Baron's...
40-minute game, by the way, first game over 30 minutes in this series, right?
Yeah. Gordo, at the rate
Something
we're going...
like that.
Gordo, at the rate we're going...
This is the closest game by a lot here, and that's going to be a big Lux binding coming through
Oh!
King of Apes quite significantly, but once again, everything coming onto King of Apes, who's going to just be able to regen it all back, and the Chrono Shift has to be blown from Rutinium onto himself.
But it's not such a big deal because Chrono Shift is on such a short cooldown now. He's level 16. Look at that. You can just stare at the ult icon and it's just slowly ticking back up to full. It's gonna be ready in another 10 seconds.
Yeah, King of Apes going to be stealing away that blue buff. He's hit his power. He's hit his 3-item power spike. He's got the Warmhogs now, and that seems to have been the missing piece of the puzzle. Is he can consistently get chunked down to sub 100 HP and just regen it all back.
So these fights are gonna get crazy because right now, Intex's ult is on an 18-second cooldown, which means, like we've seen him ult multiple times.
He can ult twice a fight.
Yeah, he gets ult twice a fight, and he has been. He's been opening up at the beginning of a fight with ult, and then the end of the fight he can ult again. So that's very, very, very nice. And I just want to check Zillion ult. 33 seconds. So that's not quite twice a fight, but that's like 1.5 times a fight, I'd say. If the fight goes long, you'll probably get 2 Chrono Shifts out. But, oh my god. I mean, what kind of game is it, Gordo, that you can see a support Zillion with death cap? Like, the man is death cap. I don't know.
Quite a few games, to be fair, for Rutinium's willing to build its second item, but...
Yeah. Okay,
third item.
Here comes the curtain call.
But, you know. Yeah, gonna just be trying to chunk out some damage here.
God.
Onto potentially this Alistar, looking for the pick here, not quite able to get it. Another bomb landed from the Zillion, gonna be dishing out pretty decent damage here. The sleep comes through onto this target, not going to land the loosened binding onto it, but going to be able to follow up with some other damage. Gets the ignite down, but it's going to be
wait, he gets it
from the Samir, but she goes down to the ignite from Tryndamere. Now King of Apes, caught out all alone, has already used the Death Realm. He's gonna get picked up by Rutinium. Here comes Korgmore trying to turn around the fight, but Blood King is untouched. He's going on through, he's popped the ultimate. He's trying to stay alive. He's going to have to just dash out away. But
man.
Gonna get taken down now. A flash forward from Twisty. Twisty now going to look to take on the Korgmore, who taunts him up, but is actually getting forced to be auto-attacked. As a result, he's going to go down as well. That is a complete ace for the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate. They're going to end the game right here. This is going to be the end of the series. Omega Gaming Syndicate in a 42-minute slugfest with 58 kills are going to take this series, and they're going to move on to the LHGPL Finals.
Oh, Gordo, it is only fitting we end on such a banger of a game. I think that game had more excitement than the first 4 games combined. It was just it had it all. The absurd build of King of Apes, the Ezreal mid getting a first blood level 1, the Baron steal from Fallen. There was so much in that game, and I'm rather tired now, Gordo. I'm not gonna lie. I'm rather drained after that series.
I'm rather drained as well, as a quite the 5-game series, Simulacrum, but
indeed, certainly
glad we could have been here to witness it, along with everybody else here tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Oh boy, and an unfortunate way to be going out here tonight, but gotta give a shout out to the baby Pengies here. They've won my heart here tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
With these wacky picks coming out in Game 5. Absolutely no fear here. Willing to go for what they think can win them the game and coming oh so close to getting it.
Yeah, really, really hard to call that game. Even at the end, I thought with the Elder buff and them approaching the Baron, Pengies could have ran away with it. But the Baron steal from Fallen just stole that chance of victory away, and that was enough. Syndicate used that Baron steal and pushed to win the game. Oh, man. And so we had questions about Fallen's Lilia, but he absolutely delivered that game. Pengies had not allowed him to play that champ for the first 4 games. He gets it Game 5, and he does a ton of work on it.
Yeah, and honestly, just an excellent Game 5 from all 10 players in this game, by the way. Everybody got some highlight moments in the middle of that 43 minutes somewhere or other.
Oh man, but
But
that
it is going to be the Void Group rematch in the
indeed
finals next week between Omega Gaming Syndicate and Akuma. I don't want to get which Akuma it is wrong, but it's definitely an
shurikens
Akuma team.
or it's yeah, you're right. Let's
It's either it's Shurikens or Claymores. I'm not sure which
sure,
one.
sure. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at this damage. The Ezreal did a little bit of damage, just a tiny bit. That
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, just such a big carry attempt coming through on Saruman. Unfortunately, not able to get it closed out the way he wanted to. Some might say it has to do with the 23 deaths between his topside champions, but who's to say?
Oh man, what a game.
It is Akuma Shurikens, by the way. I
Oh,
have confirmed
okay, fantastic.
that is going to be the final here. And Shurikens, coming out of that Void group, they had the same record as Omega Gaming Syndicate, 5-1. Omega Gaming Syndicate actually able to take their final game against each other in a 3-game series, they being the only team to beat the Akuma Shurikens, possibly in this entire, event rather. No, they did. Yeah, no, because they didn't. They got by straight to quarterfinals. So yeah, they've only lost 2 games this entire season, and they've both been to Omega Gaming Syndicate. So certainly going to be an exciting finals matchup.
Yeah, hopefully it can be as exciting, if not more, than this semifinal between Pengies and Syndicate.
Not 100% sure if that'll be on the well, it'll definitely be on the LHG channel. Do not know which casters are going to be there for that one, but I do encourage everybody to tune on in to that series next week. And I do want to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's series with Simulcrum and I. It has been a great time. Thank you to the raids that came through for both LHG and XLNC. I think that's about all I have to say for tonight's Simulcrum. So I'd like to once again say thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope everybody has a great evening.
Take care, everyone.